In this video, I want to tell you about 5 different prison jobs that you can have that you probably didn't even know existed. Now though, in every state things are different in the prison system. Here in the state of Virginia where I live, these 5 jobs that I'm going to tell you about, they are very real. And with each one of these jobs, I bet you never even imagined these could be jobs you could have while in prison. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive headfirst into this video, starting with job number 1, scrubbing bird shit. Now I know this sounds like a very funny type of job, but I have to assure you, this is in fact a very real job. In fact, at the very last prison I was at, they actually had a whole team of prisoners, and what their job basically consisted of was scrubbing bird shit off of the sidewalks at the prison. Now at every single prison I have been at, for some strange reason, there tends to be a lot of birds at these prisons. Whether it be seagulls in the wintertime and ducks in the summertime, these birds are drawn to prisons. And not just like 1 or 2 of these birds, I'm talking about a lot of these birds. And with a lot of birds tending to populate a particular place, well, with that tends to come a lot of bird shit. And this bird shit, it tends to be everywhere, especially all over the sidewalks. And because of that, well, somebody has to clean that up. And who other to clean that up than the prisoners? This team or crew of prisoners who would be in charge of the bird shit detail, they walk around all day long pushing this cart with a gigantic plastic trash can on it full of soap and water. These prisoners' tools consist of long-handled scrub brushes that they use all day long cleaning up bird shit off of the sidewalks in a prison. Now I have to tell you that to me personally, this is a pretty degrading type of job to have. In fact, while I was locked up, in no way, shape, or form did I want to be one of these prisoners who was in charge of cleaning up some bird poo. But the crazy damn thing about it is there are actually prisoners who like doing this job. They get to be outside all day long, basically doing their own thing so long as they're cleaning that bird shit up. So to some guys in a prison, it's really not that bad of a job to have. It's not a job that actually pays that well. I think it starts out at like 27 cents an hour. You can get up to a whopping 35 cents an hour, but that 35 cents an hour doesn't come easily. It's only reserved for the leader of the crew, basically the bird shit foreman. So you have to be a real special kind of prisoner to get that 35 cents an hour. Prison job number 2 that I want to tell you about in this video is not a very easy job to get. In fact, in order to even get this job, you have to be specially selected and also qualified to have this job. And this is also one of the higher paying prison jobs that you can have. And what this job is actually is basically being a prison lawyer. This job is referred to as an inmate representative. And an inmate representative's job is to basically offer some sort of prison legal advice to guys who are facing write-ups, written reprimands, any sort of prison charges that they have hearings for, could possibly be facing time in the hole, some sort of a fine, some sort of a loss of privilege. And what these inmate representatives do is they go all around the prison compound, meeting with prisoners who have received infractions or write-ups or prison charges. They listen to those prisoners' side of the story, gather the facts, look at whatever kind of evidence there may be against these prisoners in whatever the charge may be, whether it's fighting, whether it's tattooing, whether it's stealing, whether it's gambling, whether it's being caught with contraband, prison porn, whatever the charge is that these prisoners are facing, these inmate representatives are there to basically defend them at their prison hearings. And what these prisoners do after they've gathered the facts and looked at the evidence against these prisoners, and then take that and go into these hearings with these prisoners facing these charges, what these inmate representatives really do is pretty much not a damn thing at all. In fact, I have to be honest with you, I'm not even sure why this is a prison job, because these inmate representatives, they do not really ever win any cases. If a prisoner has been given a charge for whatever that charge may be, 99.9% of the time, they are going to be found guilty of it. And there's not a damn thing an inmate representative can do for them. Yes, I am the prison representative for Mr. Guerrero here. He has been charged with being a kingpin of some sort of a prison porn operation. Is there anything that we can do here? Can we work out any sort of a deal? What? No, he's going to the hole. Well, thank you for your time. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, I'm really not honestly sure why this is even a job or what, if any good, these guys actually do helping other prisoners with charges they may be facing. And for whatever reason, these inmate representatives, well, they're paid pretty good as far as prison standards are considered. I think they make anywhere from like 45 cents an hour, upwards of like 85 cents an hour. Damn, it sure must be nice to be an inmate representative who does virtually nothing at all. Next up, prison job number 3 is actually a job that I had myself. And for those of you who know quite a bit about After Prison Show and what it was like for old Joe while he was in prison, well, this next job that I'm going to tell you about will probably come as no surprise, but it certainly makes this list because of the fact that it is still unbelievable, even to me, that this was a job in prison, and also add to that a job that I actually had. But job number 3 is a mural painter. I actually had a job in the prison where they actually paid me 45 cents an hour to go all over the prison, do my own thing, so long as I was painting big, gigantic pictures all over the prison. There was 3 total mural painters, me and 2 other guys. Both of these other guys were way better, way more qualified painters than I was. Somehow I had just lucked up and fell into this job because a good friend of mine that I actually went to school with was in fact a mural painter when I first got to this prison. This guy was an amazing artist. And it was because of him and the fact that he was going home shortly thereafter I arrived at the prison that he basically put me right in a position so that I could get this painting gig. Now, I have to be completely honest with you when I tell you that I had no fucking idea how to paint when I first got to this prison. But once I saw that this was a job that you could actually have, saw that a old school buddy of mine was doing this job and creating amazing artwork, well, I spent the entire time until he was actually released basically learning from him how to paint. And in my own personal opinion, I did get pretty good at painting. I actually painted some pretty cool things while I was at the prison. I wish I had more pictures of what I painted while I was at this prison, but for whatever reason, I just don't. I worked this job for almost 2 years while at this prison, and throughout all of that time, I painted a lot of murals. This was without a doubt the most laid-back prison job I ever had, the highest paying prison job I ever had. I was paid 45 cents an hour. Every month I was making anywhere between $50 to $65 a month. And with this job, I was basically given like a golden key to the prison. I could go anywhere at any time that I pleased, so long as I was carrying that laundry bag with me full of my painting supplies. Now, this job did not come without stress factors with it. In fact, even though it was such a sweet job, it also was at times pretty fucking stressful. I mean, for one, there was prisoners who would give me shit on a daily basis because of the fact that I had this sweet ass prison job. They would always question what I was painting, why the hell am I painting that there? And this one time in particular, prison staff actually had us painting rape prevention signs in all of the housing units. So you have to imagine that I caught quite a bit of shit for that as well. There would be prisoners who would want me to smuggle things from one side of the prison to the other using that laundry bag that I had full of painting supplies. And I won't lie to you, I did it quite a few times, including smuggling things for myself, especially during that time that I was running that lucrative pornography picture business. But doing mural painting as a prison job is probably the sweetest prison job there is. Making the list at number 4 is cleaning the microwave. No bullshit, this is a prison job. There is literally a job in prison that entails cleaning the microwave. This is a very low-paying prison job, starting at a whopping 17 cents an hour and going all the way up to 17 cents an hour. In fact, there is no room to climb any sort of a prison corporate ladder with this job. Why prisoners actually take this job is a little beyond me. Prisoners who clean the microwave make less than $20 a month. And if all you have to survive on in prison is your prison job and the money you make from it, well, less than $20 a month isn't going to buy you much of anything after you spent money on your much needed hygiene items. Soap, deodorant, two absolute necessities while locked up. Prisoners who have these microwave cleaning detail jobs have to clean microwaves in the housing unit like 3 times a day. And I can assure you those microwaves, they get pretty fucking nasty. In a lot of cases, prisoners won't even clean up after themselves because they know there is another prisoner whose job is to clean that microwave. And prisoners who have these microwave cleaning jobs, they're not very happy about these jobs at all. In fact, a lot of times I'm sure they wonder, why the hell am I cleaning a fucking microwave? Who really knows? But it is a job you can have in prison. The last job making this list is basically a prisoner police officer. There are prisoners who have jobs policing the rest of the prison population. This is guaranteed to be the most frowned upon job you can have while locked up. And the crazy damn thing about it is, it's not even really snitching, because other prisoners know there are prisoners whose job is to be the police. These prisoners will oftentimes walk around with little notepads, writing down little notes about prisoners who aren't in dress compliance or their bunk areas just aren't up to spec. These prisoner police officers will stand outside of the housing unit during times of the day that's considered prisoner movement. Prisoners moving back and forth from class or going to their jobs. And while these prisoner police are out on patrol, they're supposed to be keeping an eye for anything that's out of the norm. And not just any prisoner can fit the criteria of what it actually takes to be one of these prisoner police officers. Prison officials tend to put prisoners in these positions who tend to be sort of the prison tough guys, the bullies, the prisoners that nobody really wants any problems with. It's crazy to even imagine this, but it's absolutely true. And not only is it true, these prisoner police officers, they make top pay, starting at 45 cents an hour and going all the way up to something like 85 cents an hour. Not a bad wage to make by prison standards, especially considering all you have to do is be the police. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know what you think about these crazy prison jobs. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace! Let's go ahead and give a few shout outs, starting with Twitter. Yesterday, while uploading the video, I said that if you retweeted that tweet, you had a chance at a possible shout out and follow. So let's shout out and follow King Vega, follow Colby, follow Madison Elise McDonald, follow Homosexual, that's a pretty interesting username, follow Brad, follow, and Dag Anderson, follow. From yesterday's video, let's shout out Albert Einstein, Shadow Reaper, Freebird Vlogs, Honest Reviews, and Micah Jones. Thanks to all of you and to everyone else, and until next time, peace!